Hey, bro, what's your name?
It's so easy for us to play the victim. But maybe we're the villain sometimes. Now I'm gonna have to tell you the story about my narcissistic ways, my tendencies, my characteristics, and where it came from. Because we always want to talk about being the victim, but we always want to silence when we're the villains. Most powerful villains came from being victims.
In the southern breeze.
And it's okay to be both. The story of a narcissist.
From the poplar trees.
My name is my name is Arturo, aka Zing.
All right, what's one word to describe who you are?
Narcissist.
A narcissist. What is the one attribute that you work hard on that you're proud of now?
Speaking.
You're speaking.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Well, yeah. I basically had a speech impediment. It wasn't a natural thing. It was taught that I shouldn't say anything. Like basically, whenever I tried to speak up or ask questions, I used to get smacked or ignored. To a point where like I grew up realizing that my voice didn't have meaning to it. But the more I grew, whatever, the more my voice kind of strengthened. I feel like there's like a lot of power in my voice now. And nobody can say anything because I'm my own man. So the more I talk, the more I teach people, whatever, the more of an impact I have in life. So me speaking, whatever, from having the fear of speaking. Well, me coming from a fear of speaking to having a gift in speaking made me realize that I could do anything I want in life.
All right. Now, what is the most memorable good moment that molded who you are today?
Me losing 60 something pounds when I was fat. Did I tell you this? Like, this is one of my, like, I have amazing moments with it. But I remember when I was fat, basically. Like, I remember one time I was playing basketball and I was like 200 something pounds or whatever, and I tried to jump up to catch the rebound. But when I, like, went back down, my ass was still in the air. So the moment like I hit the ground or whatever, I felt my ass clap. It was like I was twerking and all the sweat was glistening from my ass and all that. And picture being around a lot of men and hearing the ass clap. That was the problem. So I pretty much felt like I needed to lose weight. Beautiful nature too. We're in nature right now, so this is where we need to be. Well, y'all can shut up now. You know what I mean? We try to get away from white people, now y'all know. But yeah, and also one of my good friends, he's a cool guy, whatever, but he's gay and all that. He actually said that I looked like I had a BBL. That also gave me a way to be like, you know what? I gotta discipline myself with my eating basically. So after that, I became strictly vegan. I took something called Hoodie, and like basically that kind of suppressed my appetite. So the more I started working out, the more like I started drinking sea moss, whatever, and like eating certain stuff that was beneficial to my body. I started losing weight real fast to a point where I started seeing myself again. Like back when I was like younger, playing like with my friends and all that. I felt like I was young again because I seen the energy boost up and all that. That made me proud of myself because it made me feel like I can do something to make me more active and make me more healthy, I guess.
So is that the only reason why you lost weight?
Cause I got a fat ass.
Yeah.
I was depressed too. I was going through depression too, so I had like an eating habit. Like I used to, every week I used to get like 5 guys and like just have like random burgers and sandwiches like every day. I wasn't eating no type of vegetables and all that. To a point where like I felt sluggish. I couldn't play basketball anymore. I couldn't play football anymore. Like I said, when I told you about the time where I was playing basketball, I felt my whole body start jiggling, and I'm not used to that. So next thing you know, I legit had to change something. So the moment I did change it, I realized I can do a whole lot with my body. I felt stronger. I felt fast. I rock with
Sorry.
it. I felt more energetic. I felt faster. I felt like a child again. So
I get that.
I personally believe that that's like an amazing thing when you feel like you could do everything that you were doing back when you were 18 and 17 years old. That just was like an amazing moment.
All right. Well, what is the most memorable bad moment that molded who you are today?
Oh man. Okay. I had so many. I had so many. From the molestation situation, from the watching my brother beat his girlfriend, to watching I don't value sex like that because I've seen certain stuff. I've seen like somebody my friend had like some sort of initiation and all that, and they wanted to break his innocence or whatever and say that he was a man basically. So they took a 40-year-old girl, a 40-year-old lady, and forced that lady to suck a 12-year-old's penis. Like, and at the same time they were throwing bottles at her. They was kicking her and all that. They was like showing so much disrespect to a point where like I felt traumatized. And at the end, like after she finished doing him, they went upstairs and did some other stuff that I don't want to talk about. And it traumatized me to a point where I refuse to have oral sex. I refuse to like do certain stuff in the bedroom because I felt like it was being used for bad. So my entire life I've been going through molestation. I was going through watching people get violated to a point where I see people on Facebook and on Instagram bragging about what they're doing to women and how they're treating women, to a point where I felt like I don't need to do this type of stuff. I don't feel like it's beneficial to anybody. So I personally think we need to understand that sex is sacred instead of being an object. So that's like something that actually traumatized me or whatever, like sexual history within my childhood to my adulthood.
Would that be one of your most traumatic moments?
But one of my most traumatic moments was when that lady was getting violated upstairs. And also, there was a phone call where there was this lady that she was a platonic friend. We didn't have no sexual relations and all that. But she thanked me for being her life coach because she used to call me talking about her mother because her mother was going through certain stuff. So next thing you know, her ex-boyfriend saw the text messages. So he called me up while he was doing certain stuff to her, like violating. And like he left a voicemail 4 minutes of him doing that. So every time I got like a voicemail, like my palms start sweating. I start trembling because I don't know what's on the end of that phone call. So that's one of the most traumatizing things I've heard, simply because I don't like the voices that I've heard. I don't like the abuse that I've heard. And like every time I see somebody go through certain stuff and I can't help them, if they're in closed doors or if they're far away and I can't help them, I will get into like a complete panic attack.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit more about your parents. Well, tell me about your parents, your siblings.
Well, I'll tell you this. My father, he was the most nonchalant person that you can think of. And he was like comedic too. He was very charismatic and all that, but he really didn't care about much. Like he was big on sports and he was big on gambling. That's the most I could think of. And the first time I've ever had a conversation with him was the most pleasing moment I had as a child. Simply because I didn't know he was that funny until the NBA playoffs came in. And he wanted to watch the NBA playoffs with me. So the whole time we was watching Kobe, because this was the time Kobe and Shaq was getting it in and all that. So we was watching watching the Lakers or whatever, like, cause he's the Knicks fan. You know, Knicks wasn't doing anything back in those days and all that. So he had to watch the Lakers and all that. So next thing you know, like we started talking, we started like bragging about like who's gonna win the championship or whatever. We just started making fun of each other like for 4 or 5 hours straight. Like every time, like every Saturday, we used to sit in my room, like in the bedroom, just chopping it up, watching sports. And then he didn't want to a point where the playoffs was almost over. He didn't want to leave the room, so he started watching SpongeBob. And that was the dopest thing, because after that, my father started watching SpongeBob a little more. And that made me have like a deeper connection with my father. I was thinking like, yo, this guy is lit. This guy's a cool person, whatever. If he was my age, he would probably be my best friend. So, and then I've never seen him hit my mother. I never seen him yell at my mother. I never seen him like do anything bad with my mother. Except for, like I said, he had a gambling problem. He was a little bit immature or whatever. But that's all people. That's all men, I believe. So every Valentine's Day, we were broke, we were poor, we were damn near homeless. But every Valentine's Day, she got a gift. Every anniversary, she got a gift. Every, you know what I mean? Every holiday, she got what she wanted. And that made me realize, because I didn't see her, like him, hit my mom, because I seen him giving her gifts or whatever, that taught me how to treat women when I grew up. So to this day, I never I never fought a woman or whatever. I got beat up one time when I was 11 by a girl and all that. But that's neither here nor there. But my father was like legit the reason why I treat women the way they are now. Simply because I seen the way he treat my mother. But my mother was an asshole. So like I could tell you stuff that my mother did. Like my mother kidnapped kids, legit. Like I don't even want to tell you what she. Okay, so she a child because he was dark skinned and ugly. That made me realize that dark skinned people are unattractive. Even though I had a big crush on Whoopi Goldberg and all that, I was getting made fun of by that too and all that. But my mother sealed the deal when she said that child was too dark and too ugly. So she wanted to violate that child and all that. So basically my mother, like she had her own situation. She had her own issues that she couldn't talk about. So she took it out on herself and us, I guess. So next thing you know, like she one of my most traumatizing moments. This is one that I was kind of questioning, is this my most traumatizing situation? Was when she was beating me to a point where I thought I was gonna die. Simply because I was hungry. So I took a piece of my dad's rib. Like my dad wasn't home, whatever, but we didn't eat for 3 days straight. So when I saw that like my mom cooked my dad ribs or whatever, I wanted to bite. I wanted to taste some of it. So next thing you know, she got mad. And of course I was doing certain stuff in school, whatever. It wasn't because I was being bad. It was because I was depressed. I couldn't work. I didn't have any energy to do any homework. So basically I was getting in trouble for like not doing any homework. But I didn't have much energy. I was sick. So the moment that situation happened, she beat me for like 30 minutes straight, like nonstop. And I looked up and I saw like blood in her eyes, just like whooping me, like bad. To a point where she said she's not gonna stop until she see blood all over my body. And that made me realize maybe I'm not worth much. Because the person that I'll praise the most, whatever, is the one that wanted, like the person that's trying to kill me right now. So my mother was probably the reason why I'm a narcissist right now. One of the main reasons why.
Okay.
My sisters, they were cool. We fought sometimes, whatever. We played sometimes. Yeah, we alright. Like I don't know. Like we here. We still do podcasts together and all that. It's nothing crazy. My brother, he's another topic. I tell you this, the reason why I started rapping because he was trash at rapping, so I thought I could do better. So I started rapping and then I got better than him. The next thing you know, he started doing diss records on me. I'm like, yo, come on, bro, you suck in the first place. Like what you what you doing? Like, I mean, but he's also a reason why I treat women the way I treat them too. Because I heard him beat on women. Like I heard him brag about beating on women. I heard him like say the most disrespectful things to women. So watching my father do something very good with my mom, and then watching my brother do something very bad, I had to pick a side. Which one was, like, who did I want to be like? My mother? Who did I want to be like? My father or my brother? But the fact that my brother used to bully me, the fact that my brother was doing a bunch of stupid stuff outside of here, I chose to be like my father when it comes to dealing with me.
Okay.
There you go.
What is something you held dearly to your heart that you let go of?
Christianity. Can I tell you this? The most traumatizing moments had something to do with Christianity. Like, my mother was like a God-fearing person. My grandmother was a God-fearing person, but they both were abusive. Um, the the people that I've dealt with that were like Christians, like the women that I've dealt with, the men that I was friends with were like very abusive. They talk about like abusing their children, whatever. They talk about abusing themselves. Some of them even abused me. So so I had to let go of it because I wasn't getting any answers, but I was getting shamed for questioning. So the moment I started like staring away from Christianity, I started asking questions from people that practice voodoo, or people that practice sangria or whatever. And they were actually answering the questions that I wanted the Christians was asking, like to ask me. So next thing you know, they started teaching me certain stuff. Next thing you know, I started like meeting up with people from the Black Panther Party, and they told me to start traveling. So I met this lady or whatever. She forced me to get a passport. So we started traveling in certain places, and she started teaching me about other religions and a bunch of stuff that was just enlightening to me. And all this stuff was like very beneficial to me. So when I got back home, and the people that I was dealing with was selling drugs in the church, was like they was fighting near the church and all that. They were gossiping in the church. They were like talking about the Bible, this and that, whatever, but yet they're doing the total opposite outside of their belief and all that. It shows where I need to be. I have to get away from the people that's teaching me about Christianity, because God isn't telling me about Christianity. It's the people that's harming themselves teaching me about Christianity. So I have to legit stay away from it, whatever, because I wanted to be healed and and pretty much learning from the people that's already healed instead of the motherfuckers that's like damaging themselves.
What values guide your everyday choices?
I guess learning every day.
Okay,
Learning something new.
learning something new.
Yeah.
Well, how do you express care for others? No, you mentioned how you treat women, but how do you express it for other people?
Well, I listen to people. Something that nobody's done to me. I just like listening, because it's funny, because like a lot of people, even my girlfriend, she told me stories about like how she was silenced and everything. And it made me like realize it's like a lot of black people that were silenced as a child because they were taught that they can't, like they were enslaved mentally to a point where they can't really have an upper hand in saying certain stuff or asking certain questions and all that. So basically, like what I do, even on my podcast, even like when I'm life coaching, I listen, and that's what make people open up to me a lot more. I've seen a bunch of people that actually told me certain stuff about their life and not even realizing that they're giving this information to the stranger. You know why? Because nobody want to listen to like anybody actually. Like we don't want to listen to each other anymore. So basically, I like to listen to people, whatever, because that open them up to who they truly are, because they forgot who they are. So the more you listen to them or whatever, the more they speak. The more they speak, the more they talk to themselves. The more they talk to themselves, the more they learn about themselves. So they're going to start asking questions about who they are.
What makes you feel authentic?
Power of speaking. Okay, so the universe or God, whoever it was, they taught me to fear it. So that means it was a gift. Usually people that have a certain gift and they're around the crabs in the barrel group, they will force them to stop it before they progress over somebody else. So when I seen people trying to shut me up or pop me in my mouth because I ask a question, or like shame me because I have a question, that shows that there's something out there, whatever, that they were fearing that they don't want me to get out. So my authentic self, whatever, is me speaking to people because I know that there's power in what I'm saying.
How would you most like to change your life?
I want to become more powerful.
In what way?
Just, I kind of want to own a cult. Like, it's not like a Jim Jones type cult or whatever. It's like a cult that's actually gonna do good. Because if you look at all organizations, the Black Panther Party, that would be deemed as a cult when it comes to certain people. Christianity, that would be deemed as a cult when it comes to certain people and all that. So when I say I want to like run a cult, I know that a lot of people that would look at my group or my organization like as a cult because we're going against certain people that was trying to put us into oppression. So I'm gonna say something that actually makes people think about it. I want to run a cult. It is what it is. So that like the power I gain or whatever, the more people I bring, the more I can give back to the community. The more they can like understand what I'm trying to do. Like the more they would uh, help me progress in serving other people, I guess. So yeah, I want that power because I have like a lot to give, and I
Okay.
want to be heard for a change.
Okay. Do you have any relationships that feels unfinished?
My mother. Okay, I had a dream, right? My mother. Like, okay, so I was like 1 year old or whatever. Okay, I was a newborn and all that. My mother was breastfeeding me in the beginning. And then like the years started going past whatever. She started she started teaching me how to read and helping me with my homework or whatever to a point where I was a teen, and she started talking to me about Dr. Martin Luther King and all that. So it went from time like it went throughout the timeline or whatever of me growing up. So I went to the age where I'm at now, and I told my mom, okay, your job is done. Like you can go home now. My mom was like, I don't want to go home. So I was like, Mom, you have to get away from here because you're gone, you're dead. Like you're not here anymore. So basically we had like a small argument. Next thing you know, like she teared up a little bit and she took her clothes off and she jumped out the window. And then when I went out the window, all you see was chaos. You see like you see like blood, you see like fire, you see people fighting. And then next thing you know, as soon as my mom hit the ground, like a hand reached down or whatever and dragged her lower. And that showed like what happened to my mom to reach a level where she didn't reach heaven. So I started thinking about the stuff that she's done, like kidnapping kids, or whatever, beating up Santa Claus, setting my brother on fire, like doing crazy stuff and all that. And then the story that I told you about beating me and all that, I feel like she like lost her life as a child too. And then during her last days, she told me about her father violating her, like how I seen other people violate women too. So her father was violating her like for years, and she kept it quiet to a point where she became her father. But I tell you this, if I knew what I know now, like I probably would have helped her in certain ways. I probably would have like told her like, hey, look, you have to open yourself up. You have to understand that you have to talk to yourself. You don't have to talk to anybody else. Talk to yourself or whatever and see what you like, see what happened with you. The problem with a lot of people is they don't talk to themselves anymore. They just want to live that lifestyle because they want to prove whatever they've been through right. So now they're going through a bunch of crazy stuff and all that, and they think it's normal because they've been taught the wrong way. So I personally believe if I knew what I knew now, I would have saved my mother's life. And the fact that one of the most craziest things, my mom was going through like a bunch of depression and all that. But during her deathbed, like when she was in her deathbed and all that, I told some random corny ass joke about some Red Bull, and she had the most beautiful laugh like ever. And that's when I realized that she was dying. So I've never seen that angelic laugh coming from her. So now like I'm looking like I wish I seen that a long time ago, because that shows how beautiful your soul is. But the only person that can like expose your soul for being how beautiful you are is God or whoever is taking you there.
Okay. What do you want people to remember you? What do you want people to remember about you?
I tried. I mean, I'm not gonna. I made some enemies or whatever, but as long as I can get some sort of understanding when it comes to like me actually not being a bad person. So I don't do anything bad, even though I'm a narcissistic person. That doesn't mean I've harmed the community. That doesn't mean I harmed anybody. That just means I'm jealous sometimes or whatever. That just means I have like some sort of insecurities and flaws and all that. So just understand, like, I don't mean no malicious. I'm not trying to do anything malicious. I'm not trying to harm anybody. Just understand that I try to help as much as I can. I fail more than I passed, I guess.
So what makes you proud to be a narcissist?
That question's kind of hard. Hold on. All right. So basically, coming from like going through molestation or whatever, going through, like I said, my mother beat me like for like 20 minutes straight and all that. That would take a toll on like a child to a point where you feel worthless. And I remember one time with my I was going through some sort of depression and all that, and like my teacher was yelling at me, and I just blacked out and I yelled back for like 10 seconds. I just yelled back. She called my mother, and when I went outside or whatever, my mother was like right out the classroom, and she said, I don't know if y'all know this about like a lot of black women or whatever, but when they show their teeth, like vestigial and stuff, like when they do certain stuff like that, like you know that they mean business. But all I said was but. Like I legit was gonna say, because at this time or whatever, I was going through molestation in the school. And I just blacked out whatever because like I was legit getting made fun of because I expressed to my friend or whatever that I'm getting molested. And then he started calling me gay and all that. And next thing you know, I started fighting back with them. Then my teacher told me to calm down or whatever. And I just started blacking out because it seemed like everybody was against me. So the moment I actually went outside or whatever, and I thought my mother would be like would listen to me. The moment I said but, I got smacked. And the next thing you know, I heard my best friend, because I'm a light-skinned guy or whatever. I heard my best friend in the classroom, like he said, "Oh, his face gonna turn green after he gets smacked." And then they started laughing even more. While my mom was yelling at me, while my teacher was looking at me, while like the kids are laughing at me or whatever, I'm looking like, yo, there's nothing else I can do. So that day, I fought 5 of my friends. Like I whipped all their ass. Like they couldn't do anything. So I realized I had power with my hands basically. So I'm starting to think like, hey yo, this is the way I can get out of this situation. Like if I just keep beating them up, that's all I have left. That's like there's nothing. I tried everything else. I pretty much like tried to get people to understand what I was going through. Nobody wanted to listen. They wanted to make fun of me. They wanted to smack me. They wanted to discipline me. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take advantage of the people that surround me, that I can take advantage of. That's what made me a narcissist in the beginning. I became a narcissist, whatever, because nobody was listening to me. So the more I grew up and started getting praised for fighting, getting praised for my looks, whatever, getting praised for me playing football and all that, that's when I realized that's all I need. I don't need to learn anything in school. I could just hang out with these people out here, whatever, get into fights and all that, and live my life and all that. So next thing you know, that's basically became my life. I became a fighter that knew how to play basketball and all that, and that was it. Until somebody told me that I was too stupid to be around. And that fucked me up. That legit fucked me up, whatever, because now I gotta work on that shit. I put that shit on pause because nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody wanted to talk to me and all that. So I thought that was worthless. Me learning anything, whatever, me actually having the conscience made me feel like I was a nobody. So next thing you know, now I gotta work on my conscience. Now I gotta work on like learning certain stuff or whatever. So now I had to prove this lady wrong. So I started reading more and all that because I couldn't argue back with her because she was right. I couldn't read. I didn't know how to read because I have a speech impediment because I kept getting smacked in the face because I wanted to talk. I was scared to talk. It's like I couldn't. It's not like I couldn't read. It's the fact that I was scared to speak. It made me feel stupid. So next thing you know, I started reading more and all that, but that wasn't the fucking problem. The problem was me talking. The problem was me actually. I know. I'm sorry. But The fact that all that stuff didn't matter when it shouldn't matter when I was a child matters now that I'm an adult and I have to catch up. Now I have to study real quick or whatever. Next thing you know, I realized that my gift was psychology. Thanks to the person saying that I was too stupid. I had to read a bunch of psychology books or whatever because I'm trying to prove that lady wrong. But next thing you know, I was reading so many psychology books to a point where I realized that it was a gift of mine. So I forgot that I was trying to prove somebody wrong because I was so interested in what I was doing. So next thing you know, I started thinking like, hey yo, I can manipulate these people into doing what I got to do because I'm like so focused on these dumbass motherfuckers. Like, and I surpassed like a lot of these people to a point where like now my voice started to get heard. But at the same time, I started thinking about what my father was doing. My father didn't treat my mother like in a malicious way. My father wasn't manipulative. My father treated my mother like well, to a point where like I still had empathy for the community and for the world or whatever because of what my father taught me. So even though I was trying to be malicious and all that, I couldn't do it because I see that a lot of these people needed help. A lot of these people, I couldn't really do much to them because they were in the same position that I was at when I was asking for help. So why would I be like the type of person to take it out on them when I know how painful it was for me? So that's when I started realizing I started developing power in my voice, whatever. So next thing you know, I became a life coach. I started doing a bunch of other stuff and all that. But but the problem with that is if you take something that I have, if you take my power away, that's when you get the temper. Because I lost power so much when I was a kid to a point where the moment I'm gaining it, I don't want to lose it. So if you take my girlfriend away, I might kill somebody. If you take my car away or whatever, I might kill somebody. If you take my dignity away, I might kill somebody. You can call me all the names in the world or whatever, especially if you're a piece of shit. You can do whatever you want with me. But do not take what is mine. So the reason why I say I'm a proud narcissist is because I have the jealousy tendencies. I have the possession. I have the anger. I have all the things that a narcissist has. Except for the abusive situation. I don't think I'm that abusive. But I have everything that a narcissist has. But I use it for good. I don't use it in a malicious way. I'm very manipulative too. I just don't use it in a bad way. I manipulate people to do good. I legit manipulate people to start their goals or whatever, start working on certain stuff that's beneficial to them. I don't ask for anything. I just ask for you to understand who you are. So basically all the stuff that I've been through made me into a narcissist, but my father taught me how to be empathetic. It's crazy. So all that stuff that I've learned from the community or whatever, it took that one person that had a high level of empathy to teach me how to do good with my narcissism. So yeah, man, I'm a proud narcissist, whatever, simply because I have all the tendencies of being a narcissist, but I do good with it. I don't know.
Word.